The first time saw her, she was glowing under the alien sun, her hair like molten silver, eyes reflecting galaxies he had never dreamed of. But it wasn't beauty that made his heart pound. It was the fire in her voice when she commanded the guards, the authority in her every movement. The alien queen, the ruler of a civilization humans had only heard about in terrified whispers, and she had him marked as her prisoner. Crouched behind a jagged rock, heart hammering against his ribs. Sweat burned his eyes, and his chest felt like it was being crushed under the weight of impossible decisions. He had a choice: stay safe, invisible, and survive, or risk everything to save the one woman who had stolen his heart the moment she had looked at him with curiosity, not contempt. "She's going to die," he muttered to himself, voice trembling. "I can't let her die, not like that." A sharp cry echoed through the alien canyon. Blood froze, that was her. Princess Lyra, though she refused to be called princess even among her people. Her elegant gown, woven from the rarest silken threads of her planet, was stained with dust and blood, and she was cornered by the queen's enforcers. The moment her foot slipped on the crystalline ground, didn't hesitate. He sprinted forward, every muscle screaming, ignoring the alien weapon fire that sizzled dangerously close. He could feel the heat of plasma grazing his shoulder. A sharp pain exploded across his skin, but he didn't stop. Lyra's eyes met his, wide and fearful, and for the first time she saw something different in him, not a human intruder, but a protector. She shouted, her voice cracking, beautiful and desperate, Don't come closer." But he was already there. He grabbed her hand, tugging her behind the jagged rocks. Her breath was ragged. His heart pounded in sync with hers. For a fleeting moment, the world narrowed down to the two of them, surrounded by alien fire and shadow. "You can't just risk yourself like this," Lyra gasped, gripping his arm. "I won't allow it." His lips twitched into a half-smile despite the pain in his shoulder. "I won't let them take you," he said, voice low, urgent. "Not ever." She looked at him, really looked, and for the first time saw fear melt into something raw, something human. "You don't understand," she whispered, voice breaking. "If they find us, they'll kill us both, especially you. You don't belong here." Shook his head. "I belong wherever you are. That's all that matters." His words sounded braver than he felt, and maybe a little foolish, but he didn't care. And then it happened. A figure emerged from the shadows, taller and darker than the others, the queen herself. Her presence was like a cold storm, suffocating, demanding obedience. Every alien in the canyon froze, waiting for her command. She studied with eyes that pierced into his soul. "You dare touch my ward?" she hissed, voice like grinding metal. "Do you know what punishment awaits?" His jaw tightened, he didn't flinch. "I don't care," he said. "I'll take it, just don't hurt her." The queen laughed, a sound that made the air shimmer with terror. "Bold, foolish, human, you think your life means anything here?" She stepped closer and could feel the power radiating off her like heat from a dying star. "You risked death for her, and yet I find myself curious. Such bravery deserves consideration." Lyra's hand clenched his. "Please don't let her do." But only held her gaze, silently promising he would endure anything for her. Anything. The queen raised a clawed hand and felt a jolt of energy surge through the air around him. He staggered, gripping Lyra's hand. His vision blurred, but he refused to let go. The world spun, the alien sky warping, voices screaming in an alien tongue that was almost music, almost threat. And then the queen spoke one final, terrifying word. "You will not leave." For a moment the universe seemed to pause. His heart stopped. Lyra's face twisted with horror. And in that moment knew he had risked everything, but the queen would not release him. Not now, not ever. And that was just the beginning. Awoke to darkness. Not the quiet darkness of night, but a suffocating alien shadow that wrapped around him like chains. His body ached from the queen's energy strike, every muscle stiff, every joint screaming. He tried to move, but invisible restraints held him in place, pressing against his chest, as if the air itself had been turned into iron. He tried to call out for Lyra, but his voice came out hoarse, almost lost in the cold, humming emptiness of the chamber. Panic clawed at his chest. Where was she? Was she safe? Was she angry at him? Then he saw her, Lyra, standing beyond the energy barrier that separated them. Her silver hair glimmered in the dim light, her eyes wide, haunted yet determined. Even across the distance, felt her gaze pierce him, and it was worse than any weapon. She whispered, voice trembling, they won't let you go. They're testing you." His heart sank. Testing me? His own voice sounded foreign to him, weak and small. For what? Lyra's lips quivered. "I don't know, but the Queen, she doesn't do anything without reason. She wants something from you. I can see it in her eyes." His chest tightened. He thought of the canyon, the weapons, the Queen's towering presence. He had risked death for her, and now he was trapped, unable to even reach her. He swallowed hard. "Then I'll give it whatever she wants. Just let me see you again. Let me protect you. I can't stand being apart from you." Lyra shook her head. "You don't understand. You can't bargain with her. She's not like anyone we know. Humans, she doesn't see them the same way." His jaw clenched. "Then I'll show her. I'll show her what humans are capable of." The Queen appeared without warning, stepping from a shadow that seemed to have no beginning or end. His chest tightened at the sight. She was taller than any human, her skin shimmering with iridescent patterns that shifted as if alive. Her eyes locked on him, ancient, powerful, and merciless. "You survived," she said, voice cold, sharp as glass. "Many humans would have broken in fear." Forced himself to rise, even as the restraints dug into his shoulders. "I didn't survive," he said, voice raw. "I risked everything to save her. That's what humans do." The Queen tilted her head, intrigued. "You risked death for her, curious. Most would have fled, most would have begged for mercy, but you chose love over life." His chest burned with both pain and hope. "I love her," he said simply. "I would die 1,000 times over for her, and if that's what it takes, I'll die here too, just to prove it." The Queen's gaze flicked toward Lyra, who was watching every movement, every word. Her face was pale, lips pressed together in silent worry. Could almost hear her heartbeat through the barrier. "You think love is enough to change fate," the Queen said, voice softer now, almost thoughtful. "You think a human can defy me?" Didn't hesitate. "I don't think, I know, I'll defy you and I'll do it for her, because life without her isn't life at all." For a moment, silence filled the chamber. Even the humming of alien energy seemed to pause. The Queen's eyes softened, not fully, but enough that felt it. There was a flicker of respect, and something else he couldn't name. Then she spoke, her words cutting like a blade. "You will remain in my cage. You will endure what no human has endured before, and yet I will watch you. Your choices, your courage, it fascinates me." Stomach dropped. He was trapped, yes, but he could still see Lyra. Still hear her voice, still feel the pull of her presence across the barrier. His heart refused to break. Not yet. Lyra's voice rang through the darkness again, trembling but firm. "We'll find a way. I'll get you out, I swear it." Met her eyes and smiled, weak but determined. "Then I'll survive," he whispered. "I'll survive for you. I'll fight through whatever she throws at me, because you're worth everything." And in that cold alien prison made a silent vow. He would endure the Queen's tests. He would face pain, hunger, fear. He would defy death itself, all for the woman who had captured his heart, the woman he could not live without. Even as the chamber doors closed with a hiss of alien metal, his resolve burned brighter than ever. No matter the cost, no matter the suffering, he would survive. And one day, he would hold Lyra in his arms again. Because love was stronger than fear, stronger than the Queen, stronger than death. Had been awake for what felt like an eternity, trapped in the Queen's shimmering cage. Every moment stretched into hours. The alien energy walls hummed around him, pulsing with a power that made his muscles ache, his mind scream. But he refused to give in to despair. He thought of Lyra, her silver hair, her burning eyes, the way she had trusted him with her life. That image alone gave him strength. When the Queen returned, the chamber seemed to grow smaller. Her presence filled every corner, and her eyes, sharp as twin stars, bore into soul. "You think you are ready," she said, her voice echoing with power, "but love is not enough. You must prove it." His chest tightened. "Prove it," he asked, his voice raw. "What do you want from me?" The Queen's lips curved slightly, almost like a smile, but terrifying. "Endurance, sacrifice, fearlessness, all in the face of oblivion, you will be tested." Before he could ask more, the cage's energy shifted. The walls dissolved into a swirling, violet mist, and felt himself falling, not physically, but through space, through something that felt like time itself. When he landed, he was on a narrow bridge stretching over an endless void. The wind howled like 1,000 screaming voices, threatening to push him off. His heart pounded, fear trying to claw its way into his mind. But then he thought of Lyra, standing on the other side, waiting for him. She had risked so much for him already, and he couldn't fail her. Not now, not ever. He took a step, then another. The bridge shuddered under him, cracking, glowing with dangerous alien energy. Every nerve screamed to turn back, to surrender, to accept death. But he kept moving, one foot in front of the other. His love for Lyra burned hotter than his fear. "Human," the Queen's voice echoed around him, omnipresent. "Why do you endure? Why do you persist?" Shouted into the void. "Because I love her. Because she's worth every danger, every risk, every second of pain. Nothing matters more than her." A gust of wind tore at him, threatening to throw him into the abyss. He stumbled, heart in his throat, and in that moment realized something. The Queen wasn't just testing his body. She was testing his spirit, his very soul. Could he withstand despair and still hold on to love? Could he survive when everything else was stripped away? He gritted his teeth and took another step, and then another. Each step was agony. His legs screamed, his lungs burned, and yet he kept moving. Every heartbeat was for Lyra, every thought of her face a lifeline. Hours, or was it minutes? Time was strange here past. Hands were raw from gripping the narrow edges, but he didn't stop. And finally, at the edge of the bridge, he saw her. Lyra, glowing like hope itself, her eyes wide with fear and relief. He lunged forward, pushing the last ounce of strength into the final step. The bridge cracked behind him, threatening to collapse into the abyss. But he reached her. He grabbed her hands, their fingers intertwined, shaking, trembling, yet unbroken. Oh, she gasped, tears streaming down her face. You made it." His lips curved into a tired, bloody smile. "I told you I'd do anything for you, even this." Lyra's tears fell onto his hands as she held him tight. For a moment, the world narrowed to just the two of them. No queen, no cage, no alien horrors, just the warmth of her presence. Closed his eyes, letting the relief wash over him, letting the love he had carried through impossible danger fill him entirely. But then the Queen's voice came again, cold and omnipresent. "Impressive, but do not mistake survival for freedom." His heart clenched. He had passed the trial, but he was still not free. The Queen's eyes appeared before them, glowing from the shadows. "You endure, you survive, you love, yet I have not released you, because love alone does not grant you liberty." Lyra's face twisted with desperation. "You can't keep him, he's human, he doesn't belong in your world." The Queen's laugh was like shards of crystal striking metal. "Belonging is irrelevant. What matters is whether he proves himself worthy, and he is worthy of observation, of scrutiny, of challenge. He fascinates me." Squeezed Lyra's hands. "I'll endure," he whispered, voice low but fierce. "For you, for us, whatever she asks, I'll survive. I'll prove that human love is stronger than fear, stronger than death, stronger than any queen." Lyra nodded, a mix of fear and hope in her eyes. "Then we'll face it together," she said, pressing her forehead to his. "No matter what she does, no matter how long it takes, I will never stop fighting for you." And in that alien chamber, with the Queen watching from the shadows, felt a fire ignite within him. A fire that no cage, no trial, no power could ever extinguish. For love was not just survival. It was defiance. It was courage. And it was his. Had survived the Queen's first trial, but freedom was still a dream just out of reach. Every step he took under her watchful eyes felt like walking on a blade. The alien prison was no longer just walls and energy. It was a living entity that tested his courage, his spirit, and most of all, his love for Lyra. Meanwhile, Lyra could not bear to stand idle. She had watched fight through impossible dangers, had seen him risk death again and again for her, and her heart burned with guilt and determination. She could not allow the Queen to keep him imprisoned, no matter the cost. Alone in the Queen's observation chamber, Lyra studied the patterns of the energy barriers, the flow of the alien defenses, and the ways the Queen moved unseen among them. Every moment, she memorized the shifts, the gaps, the faint signs of weakness. Struggle had lit a fire in her soul. She refused to be powerless, and the thought of wounded but unbroken only fueled her resolve. I can't let her cage him forever, she whispered to herself, her voice trembling but fierce. I won't survive if I lose him, not like this. Her first attempt at rebellion came quietly. Using her knowledge of the Queen's chambers, Lyra began to manipulate small objects, alien devices that controlled energy flows. She moved with precision and silence, heart pounding, sweat dripping, every second a gamble between success and catastrophic failure. The Queen, always watching, noticed the shift. Her eyes glimmered like molten metal. Ah, she said, almost amused, the ward grows restless, curious human, bold, dangerous. Do you think you can defy me as he does? Lyra froze for a heartbeat, but then her resolve hardened. If it's a choice between living under fear and fighting for love, I choose love, she murmured. Sensing a subtle change in the chamber's energy, looked toward her across the distance. Even separated by barriers and alien power, he felt her presence like a beacon. Their eyes met, and in that silent moment, unspoken words passed between them. I will not give up. I will not abandon you. Emboldened by his gaze, Lyra pressed forward. She activated a device that disrupted the energy field around Cage, causing a ripple that made the restraints falter for a brief moment. His muscles surged with hope, but he dared not move too quickly. One wrong step, one miscalculation, and the Queen's wrath could annihilate them both. Do you truly believe you can change fate, Lyra? The Queen's voice cut through the chamber, cold and terrifying. You see what he endures, and yet you risk yourself. Humans are fragile, you will break. Lyra's lips quivered, but she held her head high. I have already broken in a way. My heart cannot survive without him. If I must risk death to save, I will do it 1,000 times. I will endure pain, fear, anything, because love makes us strong. Felt the ripple in the cage intensify. Energy that had once pinned him to the floor loosened slightly. He pushed against it, muscles trembling, pain slicing through him, and stepped toward the edge of the cage. Each movement was agony, but every step brought him closer to Lyra. The Queen appeared before Lyra, her shadow immense, her presence suffocating. You presume to act against me, she said. Do you understand what you face? Lyra's voice did not falter. I understand everything. I face the choice between cowardice and courage, between losing him forever or fighting to keep him, and I choose courage. I choose. The Queen's eyes glimmered with something unreadable. Very well, she said slowly. If you insist on defiance, then the trial becomes twofold. Both of you will be tested. Your bond, your courage, your very hearts will be weighed against the impossible. Felt the energy tighten around him again, stronger than before, but he did not falter. Lyra's courage reached him across the distance, steady and unyielding. He took a deep breath, clenching his fists. Then we'll face it together, he whispered aloud. Whatever it is we endure, we survive for each other. Lyra's heart soared. Together, she echoed, pressing her hands to the alien energy controls. The chamber trembled. Alien lights flashed. The Queen's laughter, both terrifying and thrilling, filled the air. And in that moment, and Lyra understood something profound, the Queen did not just test strength or skill. She tested love. She measured hearts, and theirs was unbreakable. No matter how impossible, no matter how terrifying, they would endure. Together. The chamber shook violently. Alien lights flickered and twisted, casting shadows that danced like specters across space. The Queen's voice echoed everywhere at once, chilling and beautiful, terrifying and mesmerizing. You have shown courage. You have shown love, but now you will face the crucible of fire. Only those whose hearts are unshakable may survive. His chest tightened. Crucible of fire, he whispered, almost tasting the words. The very sound promised pain, death, and the impossible, but he clenched his fists, feeling Lyra's presence across the distance. Her courage pulsed at him like a lifeline. He would survive this. He had to. Lyra stood at the edge of her own trial. The Queen had separated them, distance, energy barriers, alien forces designed to break hope itself. But she refused to be broken. Every fiber of her being screamed for, every heartbeat called to him. And just like him, she steeled herself for what was to come. The chamber erupted in fire. Not ordinary flames, but liquid fire that burned with cold brilliance, a spectral heat that threatened to incinerate mind and body alike. The floor beneath's feet dissolved into shifting magma-like energy. Alien creatures, embodiments of the Queen's will, surged toward him, silent, swift, and deadly. His pulse thundered in his ears. Fear tried to clutch him, but he pushed it aside. He thought of Lyra, her silver hair in sunlight, her laugh, her tears, her hands. That was his anchor. That was why he would endure. That was why he would not fall. He leapt across a gap of molten energy, landing on the far edge with burning pain in his legs. Behind him, creatures surged, but he ran, dodged, and fought, using strength, wit, and desperate instinct. Every moment was agony, every breath a battle. And then he saw her, Lyra on the other side, navigating her own trial. Fire licked her feet, energy tore at her arms, and yet she moved with purpose, her eyes never leaving his. Their hands reached toward each other across the void, separated by flames and fury, but connected by something far stronger: love. Lyra shouted, her voice raw, breaking through the chaos. "I'm here, don't give up." I roared back, muscles screaming, lungs burning. "I'll fight through everything, I'll survive for you." The Queen appeared above them, immense, radiant, terrifying. "Impressive," she said, her voice like metal striking stone. "But the crucible of fire does not test the body alone, it tests the soul. Can you endure pain, betrayal, loss? Can your love survive the impossible?" His heart clenched. He knew what she meant. The Queen's trials were never just physical, they were psychological, emotional, merciless. One misstep could shatter him. One moment of doubt could doom them both. He leapt again, reaching for Lyra's hand. She met him halfway, her grip tight, fierce, refusing to let go. The energy between them pulsed violently, flames crackling, shadows swirling, and yet for the first time felt something unshakable: their connection. They were stronger together than the Queen had imagined. "Together," whispered, teeth gritted, "no matter what." Lyra nodded, tears streaming but determination burning in her eyes. "Together," she echoed. The Queen's voice rose, almost a whisper, almost a growl. "You endure, human. You persist, human. But endurance alone is not enough. Sacrifice is required. One of you must face the fire alone." His chest tightened, pain, fear, terror, they all struck him at once. Lyra's eyes widened, heart aching at the thought. "No," she cried, "I won't let you, either of us, be alone in this." But shook his head. "Lyra, listen to me. If one of us falters, both of us fall. I'll take it. I'll endure it for you." Lyra's lips trembled. "No, we face it together. I will never abandon you. Never." The fire surged around them. The creatures shrieked. Energy lashes crackled like lightning. And yet through the chaos, their hands remained clasped, their hearts synchronized, unbroken, unshakable. The Queen observed, silent for a moment, her face unreadable. Then slowly she spoke. "Curious, they defy me, they do not break. Very well, the crucible of fire continues, but I am intrigued. Perhaps there is more in these humans than I expected." And Lyra stood, breathless, singed, battered, but alive. Their love had been tested in the most terrifying way. And though the Queen's trials were far from over, one truth had already emerged: together they were unstoppable. And in the shadows, the Queen smiled, perhaps for the first time genuinely intrigued by human courage, human love, and a bond that death itself. And Lyra stood side by side, singed, battered, and trembling from the crucible of fire. The chamber was silent, except for the low hum of alien energy and the faint crackle of residual flames. Their hands remained clasped, fingers intertwined, their hearts still racing, yet somehow steady because they faced it together. The Queen appeared again, her form larger than ever, radiating power that made even the strongest alien guards bow instinctively. Felt fear ripple through him, but it was different this time. Fear was sharp, yes, but there was also something else, a curious awe. He had faced death, fire, and creatures beyond imagining, but she was something else entirely. "You endure," the Queen said, voice smooth and lethal. "You survive, you fight, you cling to one another. Fascinating. Humans, your resilience is unpredictable." Lyra straightened, glaring at the Queen. "Why are you doing this? Why test us? You've already seen that love, human love, is strong. Let us go." The Queen tilted her head, studying them both as though weighing their souls. "Let you go," she repeated, a low, musical laugh in her voice. "Do you think freedom is a gift to be granted? No, humans do not understand power. I test, I challenge, I shape. Only then do I release or destroy." His heart sank, but he refused to show it. He stepped forward, pain shooting through his muscles, voice steady. You don't understand. Love isn't something you can shape or test. It's something you feel, something you fight for, something you die for. And we fight together. You can't take that away from us. The Queen's eyes glimmered like stars, cold but not without interest. Perhaps I cannot. Perhaps your love is remarkable. But there are truths you do not know, secrets hidden even from you. Lyra's brow furrowed. Secrets, what secrets? The Queen's gaze softened slightly, almost imperceptibly. Long ago, my people, my kind, suffered. We sought a world beyond ours. We encountered humans before, fragile, fleeting, yet extraordinary. Humans have strength more than we believed, more than even I believed until now. His pulse quickened. You're saying we're stronger than you thought? The Queen inclined her head. Not in the way you think. Humans endure through hope, through love, through connection. You cling to each other even in the face of death. That fascinates me. That terrifies me. Lyra's voice was barely a whisper, trembling with a mix of fear and hope. Then, maybe that's why you haven't destroyed him yet. The Queen's lips curved into a faint smile, alien and unreadable. Perhaps, you see, I have observed countless species. Some bend, some break, some fight without meaning. You too, you endure because your hearts demand it, because your bond is unique, rare. Swallowed hard, so you're testing us because you're curious. Yes, the Queen said simply, though her voice held layers of meaning humans could barely understand. Curious about the strength of human love, about the nature of courage, about whether one being can carry another through the impossible. Lyra's eyes widened. You're not just a queen trying to punish us. You want to see what we're capable of. The Queen's gaze swept across the chamber, resting briefly on face, then Lyra. Yes, and yet do not mistake curiosity for mercy. You will face more, greater trials, challenges designed to break even the strongest hearts. But know this. Her eyes pierced theirs, sharp as daggers, yet strangely tender. I do not wish to destroy what I cannot understand. His chest tightened, fear and hope colliding in a storm. He reached for Lyra's hand, squeezing it tightly. Then we endure together, no matter what. Whatever she throws at us, we survive for each other. Lyra nodded, tears glinting in her eyes. Yes, together, always. The Queen studied them silently, the chamber vibrating with her energy. Then she spoke again, her voice lower, almost thoughtful. Curiosity drives all rulers. You have awakened something in me, a question I cannot yet answer. Will you survive the final trial? Will your bond endure when faced with the impossible choice? His jaw clenched. We will, I promise you, no matter what, we survive together. The Queen's form shimmered, growing taller, more imposing, her energy pulsing like a heartbeat. Then prepare yourselves. The final trial is near, and it will demand everything you hold dear. As she vanished into shadows and Lyra stood together, hands clasped, hearts intertwined, facing the unknown. Fear licked at their resolve, but love burned brighter than any trial, any fire, any darkness. Because together they were unstoppable. The chamber was silent, but the silence was heavier than any roar had ever heard. Shadows twisted along the walls, pulsing with the Queen's energy. She appeared before them, larger and more terrifying than ever, her eyes shining like molten stars. This was it, the final trial, the moment that would decide everything. You have endured, the Queen said, her voice both cruel and awe-filled. You have survived fire, despair, and the impossible, but now comes the ultimate test, a choice that will define your hearts forever. His chest tightened. He glanced at Lyra. Her eyes, full of love and determination, met his, and for a heartbeat, all fear melted away. No matter what this trial demanded, they would face it together. The choice, the Queen continued, is simple in concept but impossible in reality. One of you must be sacrificed. One of you must fall so that the other may live. Only then will I consider your love worthy. Time froze in his mind. Sacrifice? Die? For Lyra? The thought struck him like a lightning bolt. Pain lanced through him, but beneath it, resolve sparked. No, he whispered, voice trembling but firm. We don't do that. We survive together. There's no life worth living without each other. Lyra squeezed his hand, tears brimming, yet her voice was strong. I won't let you die. Not for her, not for anyone. I'll face it, together. always together. The queen's eyes narrowed, intrigued. You refuse the simplest path. You cling to each other even in the face of annihilation. Remarkable, stubborn, human. Very well, then I shall see if your love can withstand the impossible. The chamber shifted. The floor dissolved into a swirling void, the walls into shifting lights, the air thick with electric energy. Figures appeared, visions of their deepest fears. Trapped in fire alone, Lyra falling into endless darkness, their worst memories twisted. It was terrifying, suffocating, a test of mind and heart. Gritted his teeth. "This is just another trial," he muttered, holding Lyra's hands. "We survive it together, nothing can break us." Lyra nodded, her grip iron strong. "We will, always, no matter what she shows us, we won't falter." The visions intensified, saw Lyra screaming in a void of fire. Lyra saw crushed beneath alien machinery, helpless. Their hearts ached, their spirits strained, but they refused to look away from each other. "You cling to illusion," the queen hissed. "You believe your love can overcome the impossible, but the impossible is absolute." Stepped forward, his voice ringing across the chamber. "Impossible is just a word. We create our own strength. We endure because we have each other. That makes us unstoppable." Lyra's eyes burned with tears and fire. "We choose life. Together, nothing else matters. Not fear, not death, not you." For the first time, the queen faltered. Her energy pulsed, then stilled, as if the force she had used to control them recoiled in awe. "Humans," she whispered, almost to herself. "You defy reason, and yet you endure, you survive." The chamber's chaos dissolved. The fire, the void, the visions all vanished, and Lyra were left standing, hand in hand, alive, whole, unbroken. The queen looked at them, her eyes inscrutable, then nodded once. "You have passed," she said, voice calm, almost reverent. "Not because you survived, but because your hearts refused to betray one another. You have shown me the impossible strength of human love. You are extraordinary." Shoulders slumped in relief, his chest heaving. Lyra clung to him, laughing through tears, trembling with joy. "We did it," she whispered. "We survived together." The queen's gaze softened. "Go, humans, live, love, and remember, you have earned more than survival. You have proven that even in the face of death, humanity can shine brighter than any star." Pressed his forehead to Lyra, holding her as tightly as he had feared he never could again. "I promised you," he whispered, "I would survive for you, and I did, because you are my everything." Lyra's tears fell freely. "And you're mine, always. No trial, no queen, no universe could ever change that." The queen faded into the shadows, leaving them alone in the chamber that was now calm, silent, and free. The alien prison had become empty space, but Lyra had transcended it. They had endured pain, fire, fear, and impossible choice, but they had survived together. Lifted Lyra in his arms, spinning her with a laugh that shook the silence. "You know," he said, grinning through exhaustion, "next time maybe we just take a vacation instead of fighting an alien queen." Lyra laughed through tears, pressing her hands to his chest. "Next time," she whispered, "we fight the universe together, but preferably somewhere with less fire." And as they held each other, hearts beating in perfect harmony, one truth shone brighter than any alien power, any trial, any queen. Love, courage, and human resilience could overcome anything, even death itself. Together, Lyra stepped forward, free at last.